So I'm in my kitchen and I have this thought about writing and I decided to share it with you. And at first I wasn't going to in case everybody already knows it, but then I thought I'll also share this recipe with you, which is really awesome. And I know it has nothing to do with writing, but if you like chocolate and you like cake, honestly, this is amazing. And it's my grandmother's recipe. And so, I mean, maybe you can find something like it on the internet, but it actually calls for strong black coffee as part of the ingredients, and which is kind of unique. It's very easy to make because I only do easy. So, but as I'm putting this together, I'm going through it and I realized I have no eggs, which is a problem for cakes. Although a lot of times as I'm using a recipe, if I'm out of something, I kind of just push through. Like I don't want to go to the store, so I just like, okay, what can I sub? You know, if I don't have sugar, can I sub honey? A lot of times, yes, but not always. So cakes, no, you really can't substitute eggs. With a story or a novel, the parallel that I drew and wanted to share was that recipes are like outlines for your story or your novel. And I would say that a writer should think of a recipe the same way you think of an outline, that it's just a springboard, that it gives you ideas. I mean, I cook exclusively that way. I mean, if I actually follow a recipe, that's unusual because I don't know, like I look at them and I say, would these flavors go together? And so like with an outline for a story, you could look at it and say, you know, this is a good way to possibly go, but if I want to go another direction, choose something else, choose a different ingredient, I'm going to do that. I need to be free to do that. So a lot of writers, you know, they say, should I be a pantser, which is you just start writing, you're kind of going where, like that would be like, I'm just going to cook something like ratatouille, right? I think it was just like, we're going to throw stuff together and it ends up being good. The problem is it sometimes doesn't end up being good. You kind of have to, like, if I didn't know, I would never be able to put a cake together if I had never seen a recipe. I would never think that I needed, you know, baking soda or baking powder or whatever. I wouldn't know those things. And so those are the elements of like, that are of the craft that you must have. Like eggs and conflict would be like must have, and you have to have eggs for a cake and you have to have conflict for a story. You have to have, let's say, sugar for a cake. And you have to have characters. You know, you have to have flour. Now, what kinds, though, can always be subbed. You know, if it calls for regular flour and I sub almond flour, well, I can tell you I actually have tried things like that, and it kind of, depending on what you're doing, it can work or not. But, so, I just want the takeaway to be that, for me, the best way forward when you're trying to figure out how to write a story or, God forbid, a novel, because it's even harder, and I'm in the thick of it right now, which is probably why I'm thinking this way, is to have kind of a plan that you decide is very loose. And if you don't have the right ingredients or it just doesn't seem to be going the way you want, then you just change. You add something new that wasn't in your initial recipe or plan. So I'll share this with you guys, and until my next spontaneous video, bye.